My topic of presentation is anterior canal BPPV. My name is Dr. Pratik Porwal. In this lecture, you will learn how to reach a diagnosis of anterior canal, how to manage a case of anterior canal, and how to differentiate it from other complex types of BPPV. First of all, anterior canal is the rarest type of benign paroxysmal positional vertigo. So this is how we do head hanging maneuver for testing anterior canalolithiasis. We have already done these maneuvers yesterday. So coming to the pathomechanism, the most common position to get an anterior canal nystagmus is head hanging maneuver, or it is followed by Dixall-Pike. In this, the otoliths get displaced and move towards the common crus in ampulofugal direction. And ampulofugal direction produces, according to which Evol's law, it will excite the vertical canals according to the third Evol's law. So, when this canal is excited, what will happen is, the signals from the anterior canal will go to the superior vestibular nucleus, then to the contralateral medial longitudinal fasciculus, then to the third cranial nerve, then to the ipsilateral superior rectus muscle, and then to the contralateral inferior oblique muscle. Eventually, the correction by the central nervous system will produce an nystagmus which is downbeat. It has already been said by Dr. Srinivas sir. So now coming to the various directions of nystagmus in case of vertical canals. If we are looking for the posterior canal, the most common is geotropic. If the left side posterior canal is involved, then the upper pole of the eye will move towards the left side. And if the right side is involved, then the upper pole will move towards the right side. What if the posterior canal is involved, but the variant is apogeotropic? Then the nystagmus, then the side will be opposite to what I have said earlier. And for the anterior canal, if the left side is involved, then the upper pole of the eyeball will move towards the left side. And for the right side, the upper pole of the eye will move towards the right side. So we have to remember these things. So a patient came to us, a 45-year-old male doctor presented to us with a 2-day history of positional vertigo on getting up or looking up and down. So this is his video. So we are doing a right-sided Dixall-Pike maneuver. So you saw in nystagmus, it is downbeating, and it also has a component of torsion which is towards the left side. And now we are doing a head hanging maneuver. So, downbeat, exactly downbeat, there is no torsional component. Okay? So, what did we see? In Dixall-Pike maneuver, right-sided Dixall-Pike was done, and a downbeat, left-sided nystagmus was seen. So, probably, it means that left anterior canal is involved. And when we did a head hanging maneuver, only vertical component was seen, and it was only downbeat. So our provisional diagnosis is left anterior canal BPPV. Okay, so far so good. Now coming to the key points to diagnose anterior canal BPPV. First, do a head hanging maneuver or head hanging test, because mainly downbeat nystagmus is present only on head hanging test. If we are doing a Dixall-Pike test, then torsional component is mainly present than the downbeat nystagmus. And the reversal of nystagmus is not seen in case of anterior canal BPPV. And side, if the left anterior canal is stimulated, the upper pole of the eye will move towards the left side. We have to remember this. And if the right anterior canal is involved, then the upper pole of our eye will move towards the right side. Third, anterior canal always have a more of a downbeat component, while the most common component or the most common opponent of this is, the differential is apogeotropic of posterior semicerebral canal. It will have a more of a torsional component. I will discuss this in the last slide. And fourth one, fatigability, habituation, latency, and subjective feeling of vertigo is seen in anterior canal BPPV, and it is absent in case of central nystagmus. So we have ruled out the central part, we have also ruled out the apogeotropic nystagmus. And neurological reference is mandatory. And the most important is, if there is a past history of BPPV or head injury, then it is probably anterior canal. And the disappearance of nystagmus after doing a Iacovillo maneuver or the change in the direction of nystagmus proves that it is a anterior canal BPPV. It can change to the posterior canal or anything else. So we got him reviewed by neurologist. The answer was it is within normal limits. So what we have seen is fatigability was present, latency was present, habituation was present, and subjective feeling of vertigo was present in our patient. Cerebellar tests were normal, as it was excellently explained by Dr. Vishal. So we made a diagnosis of left anterior canal BPPV. So coming to the treatment, the most common and the most efficient treatment is Iacovillo maneuver. It has been explained by Dr. Avinash Bijlani sir yesterday. So first of all, we have to take consent. Then we have to explain the procedure to the patient. And before doing any maneuver, you have to look for VBI, vertebrobasilar insufficiency, before doing any maneuver. So in this, what we have to do is we have to turn the patient's head to the left side, wait for 30 seconds, and look for any problems in his, and then move the head to the right side, and then look for the symptoms. And then we have to make the patient sit comfortably. Then we ask the patient if he can extend his neck up to the level where he is very comfortable. And then we make the head, we make him supine, and we see the nystagmus if he is having. So this is the first part of Iacovillo. This is also known as deep head hanging maneuver. So what happens inside is the otoliths which are present at the anterior part will go down according to the dependent part of the canal, and it will reach the most dependent part in the second step. The picture credits were Factor ENT. And the third step is we make the patient's head above by approximately 60 degrees, or we ask the patient to touch his sternum with his chin. And we make the position for at least 5 minutes. And in this, what happens is the otoliths are getting displaced from the anterior part, from the posterior part to the, they are going towards the non-ampullary part. And the next step is we make the patient sit, and with the head slightly flexed. So in that case, the otoliths, if there are any, they will enter into the utricle. So this is the Iacovillo's maneuver. Now coming to the differentials. The main differentials are, if the main differential of downbeating nystagmus are if there is a central component, we have already ruled out the cerebellar part, and if the right-sided Dix-Hallpike has a left beating or the upper pole beat to the left, then there are only two differentials. First one is it can be a left-sided anterior canal BPPV, or it can be a right-sided apogeotropic posterior canal BPPV. Is it right? Okay. So how to differentiate between these two? The first one is if the anterior canal is involved, then it has more of a vertical component than the torsional, while apogeotropic has a more of torsional component than vertical. There is no side predilection in anterior canal, while the apogeotropic or the posterior canal is side dependent. For anterior canal, head hanging maneuver will produce good results, while in apogeotropic, the Dix-Hallpike will produce the results. In anterior canal, the left anterior canal will produce a downbeat with a left side beating nystagmus on Dix-Hallpike, while the apogeotropic posterior canal variant will produce a right side movement plus downbeat on Dix-Hallpike. Similarly, for the right anterior canal, right sided beating will be there and downbeat component will be there. So, thank you. This is an app which we are developing. It is the first in the first in the world, which is mainly a YouTube for a neurotology group. It has my mustache also. So in this we can see all the videos, we can post the videos, and it will be available by I think after 2 or 3 months. Thank you, sir. Thank you.